Howdy folks, welcome to another beautiful day out here in West Vancouver. We've just come off of about a day and a half of rain, which have cooled it down quite nicely this summer. And hopefully it also helped quite a bit with all of the wildfires that we have. Sure, it's been a bad year for that already, and we're not even into deep summer yet. For those of you that don't know, we had these huge fires up there in Alberta around the town of Jasper, which is like a national heritage site. It's one of the most beautiful places in Canada, and the whole town pretty much burned. Well, not the whole town, about 30% of the town burned down. I mean, they were talking about flames that were 200 and something feet high, so over 100-meter high flames. And it was just it was just a comedy of not errors, but just a bunch of things that came together, and they couldn't save the town. It was just absolutely crazy. High winds, they were talking about the fire were moving like, I don't know, 35 meters or 15 meters a minute. It was just flying. And it was bad weather, or the weather was so that the water bombers couldn't fly and they couldn't get to it. And it was just one of those, a fire at the south of the town and a fire at the north of the town. And they just couldn't do anything. They just had to evacuate everybody, and the fire swept through the town. Burned down, I think 30 or 40% of the whole town is just ashes. There's nothing. It's absolutely ridiculous. I mean, at some stage, we're going to have to figure out something to do with these fires. It's, it was ignited by lightning. So lightning strikes are going to be around forever, and those lightning strikes ignite the fires, and the fires burn. I mean, you've got these huge forests, and you've got a lot of the trees that are dead these days with some beetle that's killing some of the trees. I don't know if that was the case in Jasper, but that also means more dry wood, bigger fires. That's just nuts. Anyway, for the rest, there's a nice job opportunity or short-term work opportunity currently going around, because it's the BC elections on the 19th of October, and the BC elections are looking for people to help out at the election. So there's kind of jobs that run for about 6 weeks. They only pay between $24 and $26 an hour. I actually applied to become an election officer. Why not? Make some extra money. So you've got the BC elections coming, and they need election officers. But there's also a very nice youth program. So if you have kids and they want to make some money, and you live in BC, there would be a link in the video description at the bottom here. You can just go and check it out. They've got a youth program where they can apply to go and help out on the day at the election. I think they need to be between 15 and 18 or something, or 15 and 19. They can go and help out on the day of the election, and they get paid quite well. I mean, it's like $360 or $370. It's a long day. But basically they have to show people where to park or where to go and stand around. So, and then there's actually quite a few jobs available, because there's always a shortage of people at the elections. You can imagine how many people are needed, and it's all like just a short term. So it's all just contract. So yeah, go check it out. We entered Connor and Angelique, so they're going to try. Well, we haven't heard anything back. We submitted their CVs for the application to see if they get hired. And I actually submitted my CV to go and work there for the 6-week period. Need a bit of extra money at this stage. So, yeah, go check it out. That's really interesting. For the rest, life here is okay. It's good. I haven't posted for a while, I'll be honest with you. I was actually kind of, can I call it demotivated or whatever you want to call it, lethargic. I was sitting around watching TV and just eating too much. So I don't know what was going on. Hey, we all need our little short periods of light depression or whatever you want to call it, you know. So I think what happened was, after we come off of that keto diet, I started eating a lot of sugar and ice cream and drinking Coke and overdoing it on the sugar a little bit. And it was month end, and it was a particularly tough one. Hey, I've been doing month ends for the whole business life, and occasionally you get one where cash flow is tight. People are paying you late and you need to pay people, and it's just, you know, one of those. So, and sometimes that just gets to you. Everything looks great forward, but right now the cash flow that's what we need. And then, of course, you know, there's also a couple of other things that I think weigh down on me. I was, you know, I don't know if you know the story of hope. There was this experiment that they did with rats in the 1950s or 1960s, before we were so politically correct, I suppose. And what the guy did is he would take a rat and stick him in a glass cylinder with water in it, and he would throw the rat in there and watch the rat swim until it drowned. So what would happen, I mean, it's horrible in today's terms, but those days it was an experiment. So they would throw a wild rat in and they would let the rat swim round and round and round, and the rat would swim for about a couple of hours. I don't know the exact stats. He would swim for a couple of hours, and as soon as he realizes that there's no way out, I mean, this is a solid glass container, there's no way out of the water, he would stop swimming and he would drown. And then they would take a tame rat, so a pet rat, and throw it in there, a rat that's used to humans. And they would throw it in the same cylinder, and that rat would swim for more than a day. It would swim for hours. And the conclusion was that the rat that's a pet rat, or the rat that's used to humans, has got hope. It knows that, hey, I can just carry on swimming because there is a way out. Even though I can't see it here, I can't go out, I can't get out on my own. There's still a big hand that can come from the sky and take me out and save me. And they tested it. They actually took some wild rats, chucked them in the container, let them swim, and just before they drowned, they would take them out and let them out for a bit and then put them back in. And if they put them back in the second time, that rat would continue swimming for hours and hours and hours because the rat had hope. It was like, hey, there's a hand that's going to come and can save me. There is a way out of this. And I think that's unfortunately something that's also been starting, I hear it around me. It's also starting to catch up with people around me, And I guess it's also caught up with me a little bit, It's that hope. We are here. This is amazing. We love it. We came here for our kids. But, things are just getting expensive. Rent's getting expensive. Everything is getting expensive. Housing is getting expensive. And I don't see that our current governments are actually going to solve the problem. They've got a lot of lip service, but there's not much happening. And, I guess that also got to me, although I think it's mainly the diet. But then again, you can also only be demotivated for so long until you have to get up off your ass and pull your finger out your ass and start doing what you need to be doing, So hence I'm back. What I decided to do was go back onto, this time around, not a low-carb diet, but I'm going to do the carnivore diet. So in other words, the complete meat-only diet. It's not a long-term thing. It's more of an elimination diet because obviously something wasn't working well with me the way I was eating. I suppose it could be a combination of the psychological and the food or the intake or the lots of sugar that I suddenly took in after not doing sugar for a while. I don't know, but it was just, I don't sleep well. I picked up a bunch of weight after we stopped the diet. So I went back from 108 kilos to 114 kilos. And with the extra weight comes that you're not sleeping well because you're getting, I've got GERD, heartburn, and you feel bloated. So you don't sleep well at night. And if you don't sleep well at night, you don't feel well during the day. And then I had this thing where, if I eat breakfast 11, 12 o'clock, I need to go for a nap. I'm so tired after eating my breakfast that I have to go for a nap, and that's not normal. So I've decided 2 days ago to go back onto this carnivore diet and treat it as an elimination diet. So I'm going to stick to just meat, animal products. So it's basically meat, butter, and eggs, fish and chicken, stuff like that. For a period for a couple of weeks, to minimum of 2, maybe more in the line of about 3 to 4 weeks. And then after that, I will slowly start adding back stuff. So some veggies and other things. But the main thing is I needed to cut down on sugar. And I started it yesterday. Well, I started it Sunday, really. Today is Tuesday. And it is already starting to make a difference. I didn't have to go for a nap on Monday, and I didn't have to go for a nap on Tuesday. Another thing that I realized is when I woke up for the last couple of weeks, in the mornings when I wake up, I've got cramps in my legs and my feet are sore and a bunch of things like that. And already that's starting to feel better. Now, it could be purely anecdotal. It could be, I suppose, anything, but it does feel like it's working. It does feel like it's better, and I'll keep on reporting back on this. I don't know that it is the ideal way of life to just eat meat. There's just so many other things that are just so good that, I mean, and it's also not the best time because my garden is just about to come right. First red ripe tomatoes are out there. The kale is looking great. So yeah, it's just where we are at the moment, trying to figure out what's happening and get ourselves back into go and, you know, get ourselves back up and going. I'm also going to start running again next week with my buddy Stan, and then of course I think I am going to start doing the morning dips, because we stopped that as well for the reason that we stopped because of that the E. coli scare down there, so I couldn't go swim for a couple of days. But hang, now it's cleared up, so I'm going to go back and start doing that again. You know, sometimes, like I say, you just need to get up and get going. That's the important bit, and get over yourself, right? For the rest, everybody else is going well. Connor is still at his job. It's now his second week. I suppose that's also something that messed with my mind a little bit. I mean, it was my little boy. He's finished with high school, and now talking about the hope side, where does he go now? He's got this job, which is great, but it's only a 6-week job, and then he needs to find his next... you know, he needs to find his way. What's he going to do next? There's a couple of things. I mean, we're looking at doing he's looking at doing an apprenticeship or going to BCIT to go and study. Apparently they've got this course there, a 6-month thing where you actually get to rotate through all the trades. So in the 6 months, you do a week of carpentry, a week of plumbing, a week of electrician. So you get to interact with all of the trades during this period, so that you can see what you like most or where you fit in or something like that. So we're busy researching that. I'm going to check that out. And the crazy thing is, it's his birthday next week. He turns 18 next week. Well, this week, Saturday, 5 days from now. Can you believe it? 18. Then, I mean, he's a man. He's huge. He's a big man, but he's a man, and he used to be my little boy, you know. So that's also something that it's awesome, but it's also like, I suppose if you're a parent, you know what it is. I mean, and then of course, you know, it's like, what's he going to do? I'm thinking about it, you know. When I still stayed at the home, but I went and studied, and I did a bunch of other things, and then I left home and I was out on my own and renting my own places and working and doing stuff, and yeah. What's his pathway? You know, as a parent, you always worry about that. But for now, he's still enjoying. He's working down at Seawolves Marina in Horseshoe Bay as an apprentice. That's where he got placed out at this program that he's working, and he seems to be doing okay. It's his 2nd week there. He's got a decent shift, so he works from 12 o'clock to 5:30 in the afternoon. And he does stuff like wash boats and write out parking tickets, and he's just kind of a general hand there. So he enjoys that. Well, I hope. Now he sees what it feels like to work for your money the whole day, right? Anyway, so yeah, that's Connor. He's doing his thing, and he's turning 18 next week, like I said. And then the weekend after that, we are actually going to go for our hunting licenses. So one of our other friends, Gerard, he put me onto it. We're going to go to down to Burnaby for it's the whole weekend. You go in on the Saturday and the Sunday, and you do the whole gun training and everything, and then you can get a gun license and a hunting license, which means you can purchase a long gun. In Canada, you're not allowed to, as far as I understand, you're not allowed to own a pistol or a shotgun anymore, but you can own a long gun if you're a hunter. So you can buy yourself a nice 308 or a 3006 or a shotgun or one of those, and then you can go and hunt. You just need to buy a permit, and you can, like the fishing, where you can buy a permit and go and fish. You can buy a permit and you can go and hunt. So me and Connor are going to go do that as a father-son and check that out, because I think that will be fun, actually, a nice exercise to just go up here into BC, and hopefully I find somebody that's already a hunter that can go show us the ropes. But hey, go up here in BC and go hunt, and just maybe whether it's fowl or whatever, try and find a white-tailed deer or something, like a game biltong. Man, that would be amazing. Anyway, so that's the update on us. Belinda is still at a new job. She's settling in nicely. It's her 2nd month now, so getting the hang of things, and it's going well. Angelique is absolutely loving summer with her friends, and everybody's well. Okay, folks, you all must have a good one, and I'll speak to you again tomorrow. Cheers.